Hallo meine Lieben und herzlich willkommen in meinem kleinen Eckchen hier auf Twitch und wie immer auch ein herzliches Willkommen an alle, die später auf YouTube reinschalten. Inzwischen ist der Abstand ja nicht mehr so groß. Ihr findet natürlich, was auch immer wir heute treiben, unten in der Beschreibung als Timecodes oder in der Kapitelauswahl. Hallo Tron, hallo Marikado, schön, dass ihr wieder dabei seid. Einen schönen guten Abend euch. So, ich hoffe, dass ich heute noch einen Legendenauftrag durchkriege, aber erstmal ist wieder Event angesagt. So, gucken wir mal. Was haben wir? Das Tosen von Wind und Sand. Da gibt es doch garantiert auch eine Quest für Wüstenplage Exposé. Arudorf. Ist das die Quest? Könnte sein, ne? Okay, Aktionsdetails. Zum Auftrag. Passt. Okay. Sind da schon... Das läuft, glaube ich, auch nicht mehr so lange. Nee, 5 Tage. Also heute müssen wir machen. Ansonsten, Es gibt 5 Stationen. Davon sind anscheinend alle verfügbar. Okay, vielleicht machen wir auch nur das heute. Ich weiß es nicht, wir werden es sehen. Aber erstmal das Übliche. Hau ich heute noch Kopfgeldjagd raus? Ich glaube, ich würde erstmal gucken, was das für ein Event ist, weil je nachdem haben wir halt mehr oder weniger Zeit übrig. Und dann schauen wir mal, was wir sonst noch machen. Im Zweifel können wir es ja auch hinterher machen. Schadet ja auch nichts. So. Ach, schon wieder erhöht? Okay, mich interessiert, wann gibt's ein... ein Gebet dauert noch. Naja. Aber ich habe schon genug Gebete eigentlich für eine 10er-Ziehung zusammen. Ich überlege noch die ganze Zeit hin und her, ob ich es nochmal auf Nahida versuche. Oder ob ich einfach jetzt warte auf die nächsten Banner. Da gibt es ja gleich 2 neue Charaktere. Die habe ich ja alle. Ja, außer Nahida. Nahida habe ich halt noch nicht. Oder habe ich die schon? Nee. Ich habe ja keinen Überblick mehr. Nee, ich glaube, Nahida habe ich noch nicht. Nö, sieht nicht so aus. Wir bräuchten mal... Freundschaft, Max LP. Man könnte sie ja mal nach Namen sortieren lassen. Ah, Elemente ist schon mal gut. Entschuldigung. Das Puder kribbelt so in der Nase. Dendro. Wählen. Filter bestätigen. Nö. Okay, dann machen wir erstmal die Quest, also dieses Event. Und gucken mal, was das ist. Das ist sehr weit weg. Und dann, je nachdem, wie lang das dauert, gucken wir mal, ob wir einen Legendenauftrag machen oder erstmal eine Kopfgeldjagd. Ich bin nicht so sicher. Haben wir überhaupt die nötigen Schlüssel? Das wäre mal zu klären. Aber ich glaube, neulich habe ich zumindest einmal Tagesaufträge gemacht. Das heißt, ja, wir haben 2 Schlüssel und wir können noch einen 3. dazu kriegen. Passt. Alles gut. Dieser Dummkopf ist einfach in die Wüste gerannt. Bitte, Bruder Fodil, ihr müsst ihn retten. Tut mir leid, aber die Stärke unserer Garnison im Dorf ist begrenzt und wir müssen uns ja auch gegen sie verteidigen. Da kann ich niemanden erübrigen. Aber dieser Narr hat so aufopferungsvoll gegen sie gekämpft. Um unserer gemeinsamen Sache willen. Ach du meine Güte. Es ist doch nicht so, dass wir es nicht wollen. Aber die Wächter sind jetzt über die ganze Wüste verteilt und überwachen ihre Bewegungen. Außerdem braucht es auch Zeit, die ganzen Leute zusammenzutrommeln. Wie konnte das nur passieren? Um Hilfe aus der Karawanenribat anzufordern, ist es jetzt auch schon zu spät. Braucht ihr Hilfe? Hä? Ihr seid eine Abenteurerin auf der Durchreise. Und ihre beste Freundin Paimon. Na gut. Abenteurerin? Wirklich? Dem Himmel sei Dank. Endlich gibt es Rettung für Winayak. Frau Abenteurerin, bitte rette Winayak. Für eure Entlohnung soll gesorgt sein. Sagt mir zuerst, was überhaupt passiert ist. Also jetzt, da sie die Wüste unsicher machen, ist es viel gefährlicher geworden. Es ist schon besser, wenn wenn sie beide die ganze Geschichte kennen, bevor irgendwelche Pläne geschmiedet werden können. Oh, ihr habt ja recht. Es tut mir leid, ich mache mir nur Sorgen. Wer sind denn diese Sie, von denen ihr gerade gesprochen habt? Ein Schwarm Venut. Aus irgendeinem Grund verhalten sie sich in letzter Zeit aggressiver und lauter in Sandstürmen und lauern in Sandstürmen auf ihre Beute. Oh, ich bin schon mit größeren fertig geworden. Aber dieses Mal sind es einfach zu viele. Es ist schwer, sie im Schutz des Sandsturms zu erwischen. Sobald sie Gefahr spüren, verziehen sie sich augenblicklich wieder. Oh, das ist wirklich knifflig. Besser. Es ist ja nicht nur das Arudorf betroffen, sondern auch Karawanen. Deshalb wurden Winayak und ich von der Akademie hierher geschickt, um uns um diese aggressiven Veno zu kümmern. Aber einige unserer Komponenten wurden durch einen Sandsturm in der Wüste verstreut, als eine Karawane auf halber Strecke von den Venut angegriffen wurde. Und jetzt befürchte ich, dass sie zum Spielzeug dieser Monster geworden sind. Ich wollte eigentlich im Karawanenribat um Hilfe bitten, aber wer hätte ahnen können, dass Winayak nach all den Jahren immer noch so stur ist wie eine Maschine. Er sagte, er wolle seine wertvollen Komponenten bergen und ist allein in die Wüste gestürmt. Ach, sollen die Monster ihn doch holen. Boah, was machen wir, Matsu? Wenn wir nichts unternehmen, ist nicht nur der Gelehrte in Gefahr, auch das Problem mit dem Venut wird dadurch nicht gelöst. Wir dürfen diese Bedrohung für die Wüste nicht ignorieren. Oh, danke, vielen Dank. Tut mir leid, die Worte sind mir gerade im Ärger herausgerutscht. Ich werde euch die Position des Überfalls auf der Karte markieren. Bitte findet ihn so schnell wie möglich. Hoffentlich ist sein Gehirn noch nicht so verrostet, dass er mitten zwischen diese Monster gestürmt ist, um seine Komponenten zu retten. Ja, ich putze das nicht weg. So, das ist jetzt ein gutes Stück weg. Haben wir das schon? Ach, Gott sei Dank, wir haben einen Teleport. Ich muss immer noch hier einen ganzen Stapel unterirdischer Teleportpunkte machen. Wie auch immer ich da hinkommen soll. Naja.
Aristocratic etiquette is all just for show. Just smile and nod along. I was forced to learn all of the rules by heart.
Von dieser Seite anschleichen, das Gelände als Deckung nutzen, solange die Sonne nicht höher steht als und ich nicht langsamer bin als... nein, das funktioniert auch nicht. Was hast du vor? Einen Weg, die Kompetenzen zu bergen, ohne mit den Monstern in Berührung zu kommen. Dank der Venut liegen meine kostbaren Komponenten jetzt zwischen diesen ganzen Monstern verstreut. Oh, wer seid ihr? Seit wann seid ihr hier? Wir haben dich schon eine ganze Weile belauscht. Keine Angst, wir sind keine Schurken. Deine Gefährtin hat uns geschickt. Gefährtin? Etwa Shria? Nein, sie sagte doch, dass es ihr egal wäre, wenn mich die Monster schnappen würden. Ah, ich verstehe, ihr sollt die Komponenten für sie bergen. Ob die Monster mich erwischen, ist egal. Hauptsache, die Komponenten werden gerettet. Nun, genauso hätte sie es sagen können. Typisch Shria. Denk, was du willst. Jedenfalls bin ich euch dankbar. Wie ich es auch drehe und wende, es funktioniert alles nicht. Also wollte ich einfach losrennen und dann weitersehen. Eine falsche Bewegung, die Monster haben mich. Ach, wenn ich es nicht tue und ungeschickt wie Shria, und so ungeschickt wie Shria ist? Wenn ich es nicht tue und so ungeschickt wie Shria ist. Wer sonst soll sie sich denn um die Maschinen kümmern? Ach, und so ungeschickt wie Shria ist. Ah, ja, Betonung ist wichtig. Man kann verstehen, warum sich Shria so große Sorgen macht. Der hat wirklich nur Maschinenkomponenten im Kopf. Matsu, lass uns schnell die Komponenten holen, bevor er sich wieder ins Unglück stürzen will. Okay. Während der Herausforderung befinden sich über einigen 4 Blattsymbolen Treffersägen. Sammelt diese Sägen ein, um beim Angriff aus dem Fall an der Einschlagstelle eine Druckwelle auszulösen, die Gegner in der Nähe physischen Schaden zufügt. Während der Herausforderung befinden sich über einigen 4 Blattsymbolen Treffersägen. Das stand doch da gerade. Naja gut. Treffersägen. Muss ich jetzt mit dir reden? Oder ich schätze mal, ne? Tapfere Abenteurerin, bist du bereit, die Komponenten zu holen? Ja. Oh, sehr gut, dann setze ich auf dich. Erhöht den von allen Figuren mit Katalysatoren verursachten Schaden um 20%. Danke für die Info. Schön, dass ich die vorher erfahre, weil habe ich nicht.
Shudder! Beg for mercy.
Wo ist denn ist das? Kann ich nicht wieder? Nein? Na gut.
Think you can bully me?
Crush! Vengeance will be mine! Rack and ruin!
Ah! Alle einmal auf die Mütze.
Eyes on me! Beg for mercy!
So. Ach so. Jetzt die Komponente holen. Und jetzt, okay. Ach, das geht auch noch auf Zeit. Fällt mir mal gerade auf.
Shudder!
Dehya special!
Crush! Shudder! Beg for mercy! Freeze to the core! I condemn you!
So, Kumpel. Okay. Next.
Think you can bully me? Can't handle your dreams?
Crush!
Ah!
More speed! Shudder! Beg for mercy! Crush! Flood of frost!
Dehya special! I'm a rock!
Ja, nicht richtig ausgeführt. So.
Everybody stand the power that ended fight!
Einfach alles kombinieren. Das war vielleicht nicht so die beste Idee, aber wir tun das. Ich hoffe, es kommen nicht mehr allzu viele weitere Monster. So langsam geht uns die Zeit aus. Ah ja, okay. Alles gut. Oh, vielen Dank, tapfere Abenteurerin. Sehr gut. Es war nicht zu lange und die Komponenten sind noch nicht zu sehr beschädigt. Sie müssen noch nur etwas repariert werden. Okay. Vinajak? Gleich, fast fertig. Vinajak. Oh, Shria, seit wann bist du hier? Während du an den Komponenten bastelst. Sagtest du nicht, es sei wegen der Monster zu gefährlich? Wieso bist du dann selbst hergekommen? Ich habe mir nur um die Komponenten Sorgen gemacht. Wenn sie verloren gegangen wären, hätte ich doch nicht mehr an die Akademie zurückkehren können. Haha, habe ich doch gesagt. Schau, sie sind alle da. Noch ein bisschen Feintuning und wir können sie zusammensetzen. Wofür sind denn eigentlich wofür sind denn nun eigentlich diese Komponenten? Himmel. Heute ist wieder nicht mit Lesen. Oh, das habe ich euch ja noch gar nicht erklärt. Das ist die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone. Das war damals unser Abschlussprojekt. Wieso habt ihr denn so ein spezifisches Thema gewählt? Wenn du schon mal über ein Abschlussthema gegrübelt hast, dann weißt du warum. Aber das ist nicht wichtig. Wenn ich mich offiziell vorstellen darf, ich bin die gelehrte Shria und habe am Amurta-Institut meinen Abschluss in Wüstenbiologie und Ökologie gemacht. Und dieser Nerd hier ist hat angewandte Vorrichtungstechnik am Institut studiert. Ha. Ich heiße Vinajak. Vielen Dank für vorhin. Eure Studienrichtungen sind ja völlig verschieden. Wie kam es dann zu eurer Zusammenarbeit? Ach, frag bloß nicht. Was ist heute mit mir los? Ach, fang doch bloß damit nicht an. Mit diesem Typen zusammenarbeiten, um das Projekt abzuschließen, war zweifellos mein größter Fehler während dieses Studiums. So kannst du es auch wieder nicht sagen. Haben wir denn nicht beide bestanden? Na klar, hast du mal ausgerechnet, wie lange nach unseren Kommilitonen aus dem gleichen Jahrgang das war? Bestanden ist bestanden oder nicht? Ich habe gehört, einige haben erst letztes Jahr mit ihrer Abschlussarbeit angefangen. Ach, genug davon. Von diesen sinnlosen Streitigkeiten hatten wir während unserer Studienzeit schon genug. Aber du hast doch immer damit angefangen. Unsinn. Als wir den ersten Prototyp bauten, seid ihr bald fertig? Oh, wie Hund und Katze. Was hat sich denn die Akademie dabei gedacht, euch zusammen auf diese Mission zu schicken? Eigentlich wurden wir nicht von der Akademie hierher geschickt. Tatsächlich oblag diese Angelegenheit voll und ganz der Verantwortung Kunas aus meinem Institut. Man könnte sagen, er ist der Mentor meines Mentors und er war auch bei unserer Abschlussverteidigung dabei. Es muss ungefähr zu dieser Zeit gewesen sein, dass er gemerkt haben muss, dass junge Studentenakademie die Venut-Kanone gebaut hatten. Also hat er uns mit der Begründung hergeschickt, mehr junge Studenten brauchen die Gelegenheit zu glänzen, damit wir uns der Sache annehmen. Seit unserem Abschluss haben wir aber kaum mehr ein Wort miteinander gewechselt. Selbst meinen Mentor konnte er überzeugen. Aber ich werde diese Gelegenheit beim Schopfe packen, auf dass die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone wieder das Licht der Welt erblickt. Wenn sie zusammengebaut ist, werden wir diesen Ungeziefer Beine machen. Fängt dieser Nerd schon wieder damit an. Ich wollte jedenfalls herausfinden, warum die Venut überhaupt durchdrehen, damit wir das Gleichgewicht der Wüste bewahren können. Frau Abenteurerin, du scheinst ja einiges drauf zu haben. Können wir dich anheuern, um uns während unseres Aufenthalts in der Wüste zu beschützen? Kleinigkeit. Keine Sorge, die Akademie ist bei dieser Unternehmung keine große Hilfe, aber unser Budget ist nicht schlecht, auch wenn schon jemand den größten Teil davon verbraten hat, um die Maschine nachzurüsten. Das waren alles notwendige Verbesserungen. Du redest doch sonst immer so fein daher. Warum wirst du immer so sarkastisch, wenn es um mich geht? Na, die Person, um die es geht, muss es sich verdient haben, dass gut über sie gesprochen wird. Die beiden fangen schon wieder an. Können wir vielleicht zuerst über die Arbeit reden? Oh, Entschuldigung, die alten Probleme aus Studentenzeiten. Diese Komponenten müssen für die weitere Justierung ins Arudorf gebracht werden. Wir können sowieso erst morgen anfangen, sie zusammenzubauen. Wir hatten geplant, die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone dort aufzubauen, wo sich auch Venut aufhalten. Es könnte sein, dass wir durch unsere Aktivitäten weitere Monster anlocken. Um die musst du dich dann kümmern. Ja gut, kein Problem. Shria, dann können wir unsere Diskussion jetzt fortsetzen. Ich habe das Geld absolut sinnvoll ausgegeben. Du, na gut, also abrechnen, dann ziehen wir es durch. Okay, ihr habt euch lieb. Ich sehe schon. Warte bis zum nächsten Tag, 8 bis 12. Habe ich jetzt das erste schon bestanden? Sieht so aus. Okay. Jedes Mal 80 Urgestein? Mögliche Belohnung. Ach, erstmal die Quest und dann... Ja, dann ist es schon eine Story dahinter. Also nicht einfach nur eine ganz stumpfe Quest. Why not? Ach so, wir müssen jetzt dieses Mal 8 bis 12 gehen. Ach nee, das ist aber noch heute, ne? Wir müssen ja zum nächsten Tag. Na gut. Tick-Tack, 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 Tick-Tack.
You want to learn some Favonia's blade work?
So,
All
wo
right
müssen wir
then,
hin?
I'll teach you.
Okay, da kann man schlecht hin teleportieren. Laufen wir
Yes,
einfach.
I'll teach you all right. Mark my word.
Ja. Ich habe Angst. Hä? Ah. Aber es gibt einen Pfad hier. Guck mal einer. Oh. Das ist ja nice. Du hast sogar Nieten bestellt. Das verbessert doch niemals die Leistung, oder? Nietenpanzer sind in der Baulehre eine Zierde. Ihr macht seit gestern die Abrechnung? Oh, ihr seid schon da? Nicht wirklich. Das Problem mit den Geldmitteln haben wir schon gestern gelöst. Wir haben eigentlich gerade ein anderes Problem diskutiert, aber irgendwie sind wir doch wieder auf die Geldmittel gekommen. Anderes Problem? Ich habe sogar die Nahtstellen blank poliert, aber Shria will die Sache abblasen. Nicht abblasen, nur verschieben. Hast du nicht bemerkt, dass etwas mit den Umgebungsparametern nicht stimmt? Wenn wir jetzt mit der Installation fortfahren, werden wir die berechnete Ladungsleistung nicht erreichen. Wir müssen zuerst herausfinden, was hier los ist und alle Einflussfaktoren beseitigen. Dann können wir mit der planmäßigen Montage fortfahren. Es kommt häufig vor, dass die reale Umgebung von der idealen abweicht. Da kommt es doch nicht aufs Tausendstel an. Ich habe beim Entwurf eine Fehlertoleranzspanne eingeplant, die für unsere jetzige Situation vollkommen ausreicht. Außerdem muss man manchmal auch einfach testen, um zu erkennen, wo das Problem liegt. Ist das der Grund, warum du damals den Test der Zwung und Einheit 2 in die Luft gejagt hast? Okay. Das war doch etwas vollkommen anderes. Damals war mir noch nicht klar, dass wir eine Fehlertoleranz berücksichtigen müssen. Gibt es überhaupt ein vollkommen sicheres Testverfahren? Lass mich mal denken. Vielleicht können wir die Abschlussfunktion des Kanonenturms vorübergehend deaktivieren und den Ladeprozess simulieren. Nein, ich vertraue dir nicht. Ich werde das Zündmodul besser aus dem Turm entfernen und bei mir behalten. Die anderen Komponenten kannst du alle montieren. Das Zündmodul entfernen? Dann ist die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone nur noch eine leere Hülle. Wolltest du nicht das Aufladen testen? Du denkst also immer noch daran, sie zu zünden? Bauen wir zuerst den Rahmen auf. Na gut, dann ist das eben ein Montagetest. Warum nicht gleich so? Wir müssen damit rechnen, dass einige Monster durch die Montage angelockt werden. Dann brauchen wir dich, Abenteurerin. Während der Herausforderung das Tosen von Wind und Sand können an der Venut, aha, plötzlich aus dem Untergrund angreifen und Überfälle verüben. Der Aufladeapparat und die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone brauchen ein sicheres Einsatzgebiet. Besiege erst alle Gegner in der Umgebung, erst dann kannst du sie aufstellen. Okay, das scheint wirklich jetzt so eine etwas fortgesetzte Quest zu sein. Oho, dann warten wir nicht länger und fangen an. In den Standard für den Schimmer verursachten Schaden. Klingt doch schon mal nicht schlecht. So.
Shudder. Back off! Beg for mercy.
Think you can bully me?
Freeze to the core. Rack and ruin. More speed.
Wenig Nerven.
Shudder.
Can't handle your drink. Huh. I'm here.
Beg for mercy. Crush. Shudder. Eyes on me. Beg for mercy.
Tu mal dem da weh, danke. Ja, das klappt sogar. Schubst den da runter. So, und jetzt?
Think you can bully me?
Beg for mercy. Flood of frost. Crush.
Shake iron! Dehya special!
Beg for mercy. Shudder. I'm going in.
Ah, Feuer bringt ja nichts.
Shake it and
Crush.
So. Next one.
Beg for mercy. Freeze to the core. I condemn you.
Na? So. Ach du Schande. Mist.
can't handle your drink. Huh. Think you can bully me?
Shudder. back in ruin. More speed.
3 Stück reichen ja, oder? Muss ja der dritte sein? Nee? Okay. Achso, wir müssen jetzt nochmal. Okay. Jetzt haben wir es geschafft. Das war knapp. Sogar der Wehmut stört uns. Ha, hätten wir nicht gerade das Zündmodul entfernt, hätten wir ihn einfach vernichten können. Jetzt ist er entkommen. Es wird mindestens einen Tag dauern, bis er sich wieder zeigt. Du willst doch nicht, dass wir uns morgen wieder mit diesen Kleinigkeiten herumschlagen und ihn wieder entkommen lassen. Aber die Parameter. Ich habe es getestet. Die Ladegeschwindigkeit ist zwar etwas geringer als vorgesehen, aber das wird den Einsatz nicht beeinträchtigen und ein Sicherheitsrisiko gibt es auch nicht. Shria, ich weiß ja, dass du vor dem Start erst alles analysieren willst, aber du weißt doch auch, dass in der Realität nicht immer alles nach Plan läuft. Wenn wir uns die Gelegenheit entgehen lassen, weil wir jegliches Risiko vermeiden wollen, dann kommen wir in den gleichen erbärmlichen Verzug wie damals bei der Zwischenverteidigung. Und dann bekommen wir noch größere Probleme. Ach, na gut, hier das Zündmodul. Super, morgen verpassen wir der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone endlich die Durchschlagskraft. Ich werde die vorher noch einmal im Arudorf durchtesten. Die Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone soll bei ihrem ersten Auftritt auf alles vorbereitet sein. Aber warum gibt es diese Abweichungen in den Umgebungsparametern? Warum haben die Wehmut überhaupt angefangen, verrückt zu spielen? Wir dürfen diese Fragen wirklich nicht ignorieren. Frau Abenteurerin, bitte komm morgen wieder. Wahrscheinlich sorgt die Kanone dafür. Wir werden wohl den Wehmut direkt gegenüberstehen. Hoffentlich finden wir ein paar Hinweise. Ja, das wird jetzt eine durchgängige Story anscheinend sein. Naja, gut. Ja, auch okay. Auch okay. Ja, jedes Mal 80 Urgestein. Ist ja schon mal nice. So. Auf jeden Fall geht's weiter. Was knackt hier? So. 8 Uhr am nächsten Tag. Okay, wo sind die? Ach, da hinten. Okay. Okay. Abenteurerin, da bist du ja. Wir wollten gerade mit der Montage beginnen. Wenn alles glatt geht, kann dieses Biest heute etwas erleben. Während der regulären Ladephase können wieder Monster auftauchen. Achte in diesem Fall besonders darauf, dass die Ladeeinheit nicht beschädigt wird. Überlass das mir. Vielen Dank, Abenteurerin. Oh, mir kommt da eine tolle Idee. Du hattest wegen der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone so viel um die Ohren. Deswegen sollst du die Ehre für den ersten Test haben. Willst du das nicht selbst machen? Ich bin zufrieden, wenn ich die Schüssel landen sehe. Wenn jemand anderes den Zünder bedient, können wir außerdem die Schüssel in ihrer ganzen Pracht bewundern. Oder so. Die wollen mich in die Luft jagen. Du musst den Aufladeapparat nur vor den Monstern beschützen. Wenn er vollständig geladen ist und sich der Wehmut zeigt, dann verpasst du der Kanone einen harten Schlag. Den Rest erledigt das Zündmodul und die Korrektureinrichtung für dich. Das klingt ja toll. Matsu, Paimon kommt auch mit. Gut, ich bediene sie. Haha, dann machen wir es so. Ich erkläre dir mal, wie es im Einzelnen abläuft. Andere Wehmut können manchmal in einen Zustand der Wut verfallen, indem sie auf Abstand gehen und dich mit Distanzangriffen traktieren. In diesem Zustand können sie nicht auf die übliche Weise bekämpft werden. Ach du meine Güte! Die Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone ist die einzige Waffe, mit der man die anderen Wehmut vernichten kann. Nutze den Aufladeapparat, um die Kanone vollständig aufzuladen, denn nur dann kannst du sie abfeuern. Bedenke aber, dass der Aufladeapparat die Aufmerksamkeit von Gegnern in der Umgebung auf sich zieht. Das Besiegen bestimmter Gegner produziert konzentrierte Elementarenergie, die bei Berühren die Aufladezeit der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone verkürzt. Felsen in der näheren Umgebung enthalten auch manchmal diese Elementarenergie, können jedoch nur durch Angriffe von Wehmut zerstört werden. Wehmut anzulocken, damit sie diese Felsen zerstören, scheint sich als effektive Methode zu erweisen. Okay, es wird langsam etwas anspruchsvoller. Tapfere Abenteurerin, bist du bereit, die Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone einzusetzen? Nee, nicht wirklich, aber wir machen es trotzdem. Also gut, der Sandsturm ist bald hier. Alle auf ihre Plätze. Okay, Elementarkunde ist jetzt hier so...
Aua! Shake it and stir!
Beg for mercy.
Ui!
Look at you, Spoontail!
Eyes on me!
Achso, hat sie runtergeschubst. So.
Shut up!
Aber man darf die Venut auch nicht da hinten, ja, zu dem Teil locken. Das ist echt ungünstig. Okay.
More speed.
So, muss ich jetzt noch... Nee, anscheinend nicht. Die machen da hinten schon Schaden. Nicht doch! Pfui! Böse Pilze!
Teamwork is dreamwork! Blood of frost! I condemn you!
Think you can bully me?
Beg for mercy. Huh? More speed. Yeah. Huh?
Shake it and stir!
Jetzt bleib doch mal hier!
Can't handle your drink? Huh? Scratch that.
So, hierher. So, ich bin doch schon voll aufgeladen hier. Okay.
More speed.
Ah ja, okay, ich muss nichts mehr groß machen. Ich dachte, ich muss vielleicht noch zielen oder so. Okay. Das war ja machbar. Shria, hast du das gerade gesehen? Unsere Venut-Kammerjägerkanone ist wirklich eine epochale Konstruktion. Wenn alle Meteoren, die bei unserer Verteidigung waren, das sehen, unsere Mentoren, die bei unserer Verteidigung dabei waren, das sehen könnten, würden sie von ihrer verstaubten Sichtweise geheilt. Es ist tatsächlich alles reibungslos verlaufen. Ich hatte immer noch mit einem 80-prozentigen Risiko gerechnet, dass sie dasselbe Ende nimmt wie Einheit 3. Aber aus Fehlern wird man klug. Ich habe meine Lektion gelernt. Wie viele Unfälle gab es denn damals? Egal, jedenfalls war der Test erfolgreich. Los, jetzt wo wir einmal in Schwung sind, lass uns noch an einem anderen Ort einsetzen. Augenzeugen haben berichtet, dass es in der Umgebung noch mindestens ein Dutzend Venut gibt. Warte, Dutzend? Du willst sie doch wohl nicht einen nach dem anderen ausschalten, das dauert doch ewig. Was, wo liegt das Problem? Wenn es dir um den Zustand der Venut-Kammerjägerkanone geht, kann ich dich beruhigen. Warte mal, wenn wir endlos so weiterarbeiten, brechen wir zusammen, bevor die Maschine es tut. Vinajak, nicht jedem reicht es einfach, am Maschinenöl zu schnüffeln, um sich zu erholen. Ach so, dann müssen wir das nächste Mal wohl auch die körperliche Leistung berücksichtigen. Dann lass uns für heute hier Schluss machen. Mit den Daten aus diesem Volldurchgang und den Proben, die ich nach dem Kampf gesammelt habe, bin ich der Lösung dieses Rätsels ein Stück näher. Was für ein Rätsel. Der Grund für das Ausrasten der Venut, die abnormalen Umgebungsparameter. Wenn wir das verstehen, können wir dieses Chaos vielleicht endgültig beenden. Bitte lasst mich das noch einen Tag untersuchen. Morgen sollte ich Ergebnisse haben. Aha. Aha. Schon wieder. Schon wieder Leute streiten. So, wir noch 2 Runden. Das kriegen wir ja noch hin. Also folgt daraus, dass wir sie trotzdem mit der Venut-Kammerjäger-Kanone auslöschen müssen, richtig? Das ist doch etwas ganz anderes. Komm mir nicht wieder mit diesem, du hättest auf mich hören sollen. Warum fangt ihr denn schon wieder an? Ach, Frau Abenteurerin, ich habe die Ursache für all das herausgefunden. Es sind die unterirdischen Aktivitäten der Venut, die Anomalien der Elementarenergie in der Umgebung hervorrufen. Aha. Und diese Energiewirbel beeinflussen wiederum das Verhalten der Venut, sodass sie überall an der Oberfläche durchdrehen und das Ungleichgewicht in der Umgebung vergrößern. Und die Leistungsstörung des Aufladeapparats der Venut-Kammerjägerkanone wird auch von der gestörten Elementarenergie hier verursacht. Ich wusste doch, dass meine Maschine nicht so einfach ihren Geist aufgibt. Zählt es nicht als Konstruktionsfehler, wenn du die Umgebung, in der sie eingesetzt werden soll, nicht berücksichtigt hast? Wenn der Grund die erhöhte Aktivität der Venut ist, ist dann die Lösung nicht, noch mehr Venut zu bekämpfen? Also stehen wir nach dem ganzen Hin und Her wieder am Anfang. Es ist ein Unterschied zu wissen, was man tut und warum man es tut. Du bist doch Gelehrter, verstehst du, und denn nicht einmal das? Außerdem bin ich noch nicht fertig. Normalerweise kontrolliert die Natur das Verhalten und die Entwicklung einer Population, um die Stabilität der Umwelt aufrechtzuerhalten. Aber hier hat die gestörte Elementarenergie diesen Ausgleichsmechanismus unterbrochen und die Aktivität der Venut angeheizt. Wenn wir also einen Weg fänden, die Elementarumgebung in ihren ursprünglichen Zustand zu versetzen, könnten wir die Aktivität der Venut herabsetzen. Nach einiger Zeit würde sich das Gleichgewicht von selbst wieder einstellen. Die Elementarenergie regulieren? Wie soll denn das gehen? Nun, wenn wir den Knoten mit der meisten angestauten Elementarenergie identifizieren und dort einen Apparat einsetzen, der den Energiefluss lenken kann, entlassen wir die angestaute Energie und überlassen den Rest den Selbstregulierungskräften der Natur. Ich habe die Position des Knotens bereits berechnet, der ist ganz in der Nähe. Und wir haben ja auch schon einen Apparat, der den Energiefluss lenken kann. Etwa die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone? Ganz genau, die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone kann der Umgebung die Elementarenergie entziehen und den Einstoß entlassen. Wir müssen die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone nur dort aufbauen und dann genauso verfahren wie gestern. Dabei könnten auch wieder Monster oder Venut angelockt werden. Wahrscheinlich würde es den Prozess der natürlichen Regulation noch beschleunigen, wenn wir ihre Zahl etwas reduzieren könnten. Also folgt daraus, dass wir ihn trotzdem mit der Venut-Kammerjägerkanone einheizen müssen, richtig? Du, komm mir nicht schon wieder mit diesem, du hättest auf mich hören sollen. Okay, ihr habt euch ja alle lieb hier. Nee. Wenn Shrias Schlussfolgerungen korrekt sind, dann wird das wohl die wichtigste Schlacht für die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone. Tapfere Abenteurerin, bist du bereit? Also gut, fangen wir an. Beweisen wir ganz Sumeru, dass die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone mehr als nur eine Dekoration ist. Erhöht die Angriffsgeschwindigkeit von allen Figuren mit Stangenwaffen, Zweihändern und Einhändern. Um 20%. Okay. Damit kann man arbeiten.
Freeze to the core! Rack and ruin!
Aua!
To ashes!
So.
More speed.
Hierher. Hier. Was? Schon weiter? Upsa.
Vengeance will be mine.
Jetzt bleibst du mal hier.
More speed. More speed.
Ah, die Kamera ist hier immer ein bisschen gut. Hilfe? Soll ich nicht? Ah. Schießen! Au! Abgeschlossen? Okay. Das war's schon. Der Aufladeapparat läuft jetzt jedenfalls gleichmäßiger. Wie du gesagt hast, die Elementarumgebung strebt wieder ihren ursprünglichen Zustand an. Und die gereizten Venuts sollten sich auch langsam beruhigen. So ist es. Dank deiner geschätzten Venut-Kammerjägerkanone können wir unseren Auftrag jetzt abschließen und nach Hause gehen. Es ist unsere Venut-Kammerjägerkanone, Schria. Für mich war das immer unsere gemeinsame Arbeit. Auch wenn wir uns oft gestritten haben. Ohne dich hätte ich sie nie verwirklichen können. Warum sagst du jetzt auf einmal so etwas? Etwa, weil ich dich positiv im Bericht erwähnen soll? Nun, mir wird jetzt klar, dass die letzten Tage den damaligen sehr ähneln. Ein einziges Auf und Ab, aber am Ende haben wir die Probleme irgendwie gelöst. Und ich muss zugeben, dass deine Lösung doch die effizientere ist. Ich kann ja auch nicht den ganzen Ruhm einheimsen. Dort ist auch nicht ganz unrecht. Wenn wir die Venut-Kammerjägerkanone nicht unter realen Bedingungen getestet hätten, wäre ich nie an die Daten gekommen. Mag sein, dass man nur ein Zahnrad austauschen muss, um die Maschine zum Laufen zu bringen, aber die Schwierigkeit besteht darin, das Richtige zu finden. Jetzt verstehe ich langsam, was der Mentor damit gemeint hat. Es ist ein Glück, dich hier zu haben, Schria. Oh, und dich auch. Was ist denn jetzt los, Matsu? Ist die Stimmung zwischen den beiden nicht plötzlich so eigenartig? Psst, Paimon, frag nicht. Als wir an unserem Abschlussprojekt zusammenarbeiteten, waren wir noch zu unreif, weshalb unser Verhältnis damals so angespannt war. Stimmt, im Nachhinein gab es eigentlich gar nichts sonderlich Schwerwiegendes. Na, wie wäre es dann, wenn wir das nächste Mal ein Tässchen im Kaffeehaus trinken gingen? Dann können wir besprechen, was wir in den Bericht schreiben. Tada! Plötzlich alle so nett zueinander. 12. So. Naja. Jetzt wollen sie Käffchen trinken, zanken sich aber doch wieder. Wohin soll ich denn? Wüstenplage Nachwort. Ach, Nachwort? Ach, da wieder hin, okay. Und was ist jetzt die letzte Aufgabe oder ist das wirklich nur das Nachwort? Das könnte sein. Müssen wir vielleicht gar nicht mehr kämpfen. Das verstehe ich einfach nicht. Sie ist doch diejenige, die vorgeschlagen hat, den Bericht im Kaffeehaus zu schreiben. Wieso bist du denn allein hier? Ach, sprich nicht davon. Sie ging allein, um den Bericht zu schreiben. Wir haben uns gestern im Kaffeehaus verabredet, aber sie kam erst sehr spät und hatte nicht einmal das Schreibzeug und das Material für den Bericht dabei. Ich habe ihr vorgeworfen, dass sie unsere Zeit für den Bericht verschwendet. Da ist sie wieder ausgerastet. Sie sagte, sie würde den Bericht allein schreiben und hat mich rausgeschmissen. Und womit? Mit Recht. Das ist doch ungerecht, nicht wahr? Ach, ich bin ihre ständigen Wutausbrüche ja schon gewohnt. In ein paar Tagen wird sie sich wieder beruhigt haben. Wenn ihr Charakter doch nur so simpel wie die Vorrichtung wäre. Das musst du selbst ausbaden. Was? Wieso sagst du das jetzt? Wieso sagst du jetzt so komische Sachen? Egal, jedenfalls gibt es hier noch ein paar gereizte Wehmut. Sie würden sich zwar auch ohne unser Zutun wieder beruhigen, aber wenn du die Zeit hast, solltest du dich besser um sie kümmern, damit sie niemandem mehr gefährlich werden können. Übrigens, die Elementarumgebung und der Aufladeapparat sind wieder in ihrem ursprünglichen Zustand. Das ist die perfekte Gelegenheit, die volle Leistung der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone auszutesten. Also doch noch eine Runde. Na gut. Mehrere wütende Wehmut werden abwechselnd auftauchen. Allerdings steht auch der voll aufgeladene Aufladeapparat bereit. Mache also von der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone Gebrauch, um so viele Wehmut wie möglich zu besiegen. Okay. Jedenfalls gibt es hier noch ein paar gereizte Wehmut. Das hatte ich vor. Sehr gut. Das ist die perfekte Gelegenheit, die volle Leistung der Wehmut-Kammerjägerkanone auszutesten.
Shudder!
Shake it and stir.
Beg for mercy.
Oh Gott.
Think you can bully me?
More speed.
Noch mehr?
Scratch. Look at you, Boozhound.
Crush. Freeze to the core. Eye for an eye. More speed.
Hä? Aber die Kanone ist jetzt okay, voll aufgeladen. Einen habe ich erledigt. Achso, jetzt muss ich wieder... Na gut.
More speed.
Danke.
More speed.
Achso, jetzt habe ich schon übertrieben. Naja. Nächster.
Shake it and stir.
Power that ended Python. Shudder. Crush. More speed.
Think you can bully me? Can't handle your drink, huh?
Hierhin bitte. Danke. Die tun die gar nichts. Die tun denn gar nichts. Voll nichts. Ah, okay. Anscheinend jetzt doch. Na ja, gut. Das ist jetzt der letzte, hoffe ich doch. Die werden zu Blümchen. Okay. Das war jetzt alles nicht so schwer. Tada. Oh. Oh. Schließ Ende Vollendung ab. Schließ innerhalb von 300 Sekunden ab. Schließ Ende Vollendung an, ohne dass der Schaden an jedem Aufladeapparat mehr als 50%... Ey, ich war richtig gut. Ja, gucke mal. Ja, gucke mal. Schön, schön. Damit ist das auch erledigt. Oder passierte noch was? Nö. Saisonaufträge, schließt die Aktion, Tosen, Münzen. Okay. Schön. Ja gut. Nee, jetzt können wir das nochmal machen, wenn wir wollen. Okay, wie weit sind wir denn? 1 Stunde ist rum. Also ich denke, da ist noch locker Platz für einen Legendenauftrag, oder? Ist die Frage, welchen wir machen.
Visibility is excellent. If we head to higher ground, we can do a full recon of enemy activity in the area.
Na, Mist. Ich wollte den Schmetterling fangen. Dann halt nicht. Lass mal hier nicht in Ruhe. So. Legendenauftrag, würde ich sagen. Die Frage ist, welchen? Ich weiß gar nicht mehr. Wir hatten den, ich glaube, der Nahida war der älteste, der erste. Aber kam jetzt erst Dehya oder erst Alhaven? Ich weiß es nicht mehr. Welche machen wir? Ich hätte Bock auf beide. Entweder Dehya oder Alhaven. Nahida machen wir erst zum Schluss wieder, würde ich sagen. Ach, ich weiß es nicht. Ich kann mich nicht entscheiden. Eneminimiste? Keine Ahnung. Haben wir eine Münze hier? Nee. Ich hätte ein Radiergummi. Aber das... Nee. Was nehmen wir denn? Ach, wie wär's mit Entscheidungskraft? Bei Entscheidungskraft. Dehya. Aktivieren. So. Geschwärzte rote Seide. Geh zum großen Bazar. Mach mal. Von wo aus am besten?
More speed.
Paimon's trying to remember. What else did we put on our shopping list? Oh, what a mouth-watering smell. Paimon would know the aroma of biryani anywhere. Let's go get some.
Das steht doch nicht im Plan, oder?
We can still add it to the list.
Well, if it isn't the Traveler and Paimon. Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Hello there. Oh, it's been quite a while.
Huh. So you two are still hanging out together. Dehya, didn't you say last time that you were gonna head back to the desert?
Oh.
I said I was going to resign from being her bodyguard, not that our friendship was over. We're still the best of friends. The Homayanis also still post jobs from time to time. Their pay is always generous, so
I told Dehya to just stay at our place when she took one of those jobs a few days ago. My parents were delighted. They even said that it always felt like we were missing someone whenever Dehya wasn't around.
that sounds like something they would say, all right. They're always so welcoming. Anyway, the job is already taken care of, so I was gonna head back to the brigade as soon as I finished a little shopping. But the master kept insisting, and I ended up staying for another day.
Ist er überhaupt jetzt noch der Master, wenn sie nicht mehr bezahlt
You
wird?
can stay for as many days as you want, Dehya. Father hasn't even gotten around to treating you to his best dishes yet.
You know I'm not the kind of person to stay put in one place like that, my lady. Don't worry, though.
What? She said they'll treat you to the best dishes! I can't believe you can still refuse that!
But wait. Didn't you say last time that you would take me on a trip to the desert? Why don't you just take me with you today? There are so many places I still haven't visited yet.
I'm sorry, my lady, but no can do. There's still a few things I need to take care of back at the brigade.
Oh, come on. Not this again. That's also what you said last time and the time before that.
Bitte, 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 Dehya.
I know, I'm sorry. Just give me some more time, and I promise I'll plan the best trip ever for you.
All right, fine. To be perfectly honest, it's not that I wanted to go, it's more like I feel like something is off about you lately. Ever since you first set foot on the estate a few days ago, you've been acting anxious and even paranoid. Have you been delaying our trip because you've run into some kind of trouble?
Nah, are you kidding?
Nein, nein,
You're
nein,
worrying too
nein.
much.
Would you swear on that? Friends shouldn't lie to each other, you know. I wouldn't pry any further if you're willing to swear on what you just said. But if something really is bothering you, then just tell me. You know I'll help you however I can.
Oh, looks like Dunyarzads was onto something.
You're too perceptive, my lady. Seems I can't hide anything from you. I just thought that nothing good could come out of telling you about the messy happenings of mercenaries. Knowing too much only leads to more trouble. Mercenary life is a dog-eat-dog world where Mora reigns supreme. Everything operates on a completely different set of rules.
That doesn't change anything about what I just said, though. We're still friends, and I can only support you if I understand what's bothering you.
My lady, you're not gonna stop until you drag it out of me, are ya? All right, I'll share what I know. Let's go somewhere else first. This isn't exactly the best place for a discussion. Okay, let's talk here. Just try not to draw any extra attention.
Ja, wir gehen einfach da an die Seite und machen eine komische Versammlung, wo alles ganz heimlich ist, aber wir ziehen keine Aufmerksamkeit auf uns.
As you may already know, the Eremites have both a lot of mercenaries and a complex organizational structure. Many mercs are no different than me, just going around looking for jobs to earn some mora. My brigade is called the Blazing Beasts. We're not a large group, but every member is loyal and brave. However, not all Eremite brigades are like mine. Some are willing to cross all kinds of lines for the sake of mora. The most notorious is a faction known as Deshret's Relics.
Deshret's Relics? Judging from the name, they must really look up to...
König Deshret.
Yep, you got it. I've heard that you've already crossed paths with Ain al-Akmar. They're one of the groups under the Relic's banner.
Oh, you mean the group that tried to sell us the Divine Knowledge capsule? Yeah, they weren't friendly at all.
Deshret's Relics is composed of many smaller brigades like Ain al-Akmar. The Relic's headquarters issues orders to all brigades under his control. On any other day, I would want nothing to do with them. Unfortunately, though, the brigade that's stirring up trouble now is none other than Dakan al-Akmar.
Dakan?
I think it means beard or something. Believe me, it's a really stupid name. I found it insufferable for years. Anyway, the real issue is that Dekhan al-Akmar is led by my father, Kusela.
Ach,
Say
spannend.
what now?
I think I'm starting to understand your anxiety now. But what did they do?
I won't go into details, my lady, but they've been involved in a lot of violent incidents.
Hundreds.
Oh.
Yep, the scenes tend to be quite gruesome too. They strip the victims of all their valuables before murdering them. Not only have they targeted merchant caravans and ordinary citizens, but other mercenary brigades as well.
That's beyond terrible. They won't even spare their own kind.
I don't know how Deshret's relic sees it. All I do know is that Dekhan al-Akmar has become more and more aggressive over the last few years. If I don't do something about them, then even my brigade or the people of Aru village could become their next target. I just wish I knew what's driven him to do this.
Yeah. How can your father do such terrible things?
I don't know. People change. He's always been pretty pathetic. But at least in the past, there were still a few lines that he wouldn't cross.
That's setting the bar pretty low.
I mean, if he was even remotely decent, then why would I have to leave the brigade and cut all ties with him? He was loud and foolish, with no real sense of purpose. Instead of doing anything useful, he spent most of his time drinking and chasing after women. Of course, the other brigade members were just like him. Their ruckus would go on night after night.
Sounds like a nightmare.
What about your mother? Did she ever step in to stop them?
Lass mich raten, tot.
Unfortunately, I never knew my mother.
Ach so, auch eine Möglichkeit.
I'm sorry, Dehya. I didn't know.
It's all right, my lady. That's pretty common in mercenary circles. Didn't I mention that my father was chasing after women? I was the result of one of those encounters with some random person. He told me that he wasn't sure who my mother was. And in any case, she never came to see me.
Aha, hat sie dann geboren, oder was?
He'd say, "You'll be fine as long as you remember to stick with Dad." But even then, he left most of the parenting to the brigade. But the problem was that he had terrible taste. He only knew a few stories, and even those tended to be pretty stale. They were tales of desert warriors defeating dragons in the forest, or stories of mercenaries rescuing princesses from rebel armies.
Sounds like your typical fairy tales.
More or less, yeah. They were interesting maybe the first or second time around, but after about 20 repeats, they started to get a little dull.
Kennt keine guten Märchen. Es muss ein böser Mensch sein.
He seemed to think those stories were the best things ever, though. He was so into them that he'd call the whole brigade over and make them perform the whole thing as a play.
Das ist doch irgendwie süß.
Even the toys he gave me would all be story props. I'd get helmets, shields, and toy swords.
Das ist, also für mich klingt das jetzt nicht so schrecklich.
It was only much later when I realized that the shows were more for him than they ever were for me.
Oh.
What an interesting guy.
Ja, aber es hört sich nicht so an, als wäre er wirklich so böse, oder?
Yeah, I've always found him pretty childish, but that was something I could just shrug off. I had no reason to despise him. Until I grew up and learned the true face of Deshret's relics for myself. Looting, blackmail, violence, and fraud. They not only accepted such heinous acts, no one in the brigade was any kind of hero. Instead, my father and his cronies were more like the bad guys that needed to be taken down. Did they really think that as long as they didn't do any of that stuff right in front of me, I would...
I think I can understand your feelings. The difference between perception and reality must have hit hard.
Yeah, but don't worry, my lady. It's all water under the bridge to me now. I had a huge argument with my father and left that place behind for good. I'm not investigating them due to any bitter feelings I still have towards my father. I just want to protect those that are close to me.
Du willst also nur herausfinden, warum sie plötzlich angefangen haben, viel mehr üble Taten zu begehen.
Yeah, I told the boys to gather as much information as they could. Most of the reports concern violent incidents, but there's also some talk of smuggling.
I see. But isn't this investigation incredibly dangerous?
It is, but every mercenary lives life on the edge. It's a lifestyle that I enjoy.
Lifestyle.
That
Gut.
may be true. but it'll be impossible for those who care about you not to.
Well, now you get why I didn't want to share any of this with you.
What should we do? They both have valid concerns.
Nö, ich gehe mit Dehya.
Huh? But there's no need for you to get caught up in this mess, too.
Well, she's super tough, so if she went into the desert with you, then Paimon bets the problem will be solved in no time.
I'm inclined to agree. I'd feel a lot more at ease if you took her along to help.
Ich gebe mein Bestes.
I'll wait for news from you in the city until then. Please, stay safe.
I'm honored that you care so much for me, my lady. All right, then let's get moving. Our first stop will be Caravan Rebot, where we...
Blut der Löwin. Ach du meine Güte. Ja gut, es geht um familiäres Blut. Gehe ich mal von aus. So, jetzt müssen wir aber ziemlich weit raus. Ja klar. Zur Wüste.
Hey, Dehya, you're back. Are these two friends of yours?
Hallo, sehr erfreut. Hallo, sehr erfreut.
Likewise. There's no need to be so formal with us. We're a pretty casual crew. Anyway, since we've got a newcomer, let me fill you in on what the Khan al-Ahmar's been up to lately. They've become extremely aggressive. Apparently, even their own now have become acceptable targets. They even attack other relics brigades, just the same as any other mercenary brigade.
Even the most ferocious beasts still protect their own. And it sounds like they've thrown that straight to the wind.
That's right. Once they've collected enough loot off the other mercenaries, they sell it off to a different brigade, or turn to merchants on the black market. A portion of their profits is immediately exchanged for more food and weaponry to be used in their next violent operation.
That's terrible.
Warum?
Yeah, and it really makes you wonder why they're so desperate for Mora. A few days ago, Isham and I trailed them for a while, and even disguised ourselves as merchants to conduct trade with them. We were able to learn a few things from the exchange. Rather than saying they're out to plunder and hoard Mora, it'd probably be more accurate to say that they're experiencing an internal power struggle.
Wait, a power struggle?
You heard me right. The vast majority of their victims are mercenaries from the other brigades of Deshret's relics. If their only goal was Mora, they could have gone after anybody. The targeted nature of their attacks points to a power struggle between the different brigades within the relics. That's the only plausible explanation we have. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find out anything more specific. Oh, one last thing we discovered was that over the past few years, as the Khan al-Ahmar became more and more active, Deshret's relics as a whole became a lot weaker.
Das macht die Sache irgendwie noch verwirrender.
It sounds mighty strange to me, too. Haroon, you can leave the rest of the investigation to us. Gotta say, though, I didn't expect you to go on a whole undercover mission during the few days I was gone. Sounds like you were really putting your necks on the line, no?
Nah, it was nothing. We're just as concerned about the situation as you are. The Khan al-Ahmar is your father's crew, after all.
What he said. Besides, Dehya, haven't you done more dangerous things than all of us combined?
Wer kommt jetzt?
Yeah. And while they went to talk with Khan al-Ahmar, I took a look at the last camp they attacked. Any survivors of the attack were already long gone. There was nothing of value left in the camp.
Ah, Hisham and Khalaf. You're here, too.
We rushed over as soon as we saw you come into Caravan Rebot. Although this new friend of yours looks a little green behind the ears, I'm sensing a special vibe from her. Now that we know you'll have a capable partner with you, we can also rest easy.
Hey, what about Paimon? Feel anything special?
Oh, you're also planning to tag along with them?
Of course.
Klar.
Paimon is the traveler's most important guide. Wherever she goes, Paimon will follow.
Oh, in that case, then you'd better take care of her too, Dehya.
Don't underestimate Paimon.
Don't worry about her. She may look tiny and helpless, but she's been through just as many battles as the traveler here. Even if she had only survived on sheer luck, then that alone would still make her quite formidable.
I had no idea. I guess I shouldn't judge by appearances.
Oh, one other thing, Dehya. When you're free, why don't you update the deputy about your upcoming schedule? We held another recruitment event a few days ago, but everyone only came to see the Flame Mane. You weren't around at the time, so people were pretty disappointed to only find our crew of rough... The deputy put a lot of effort into the event, but it was basically for nothing. Only a few people chose to stay, and that really got to him.
Sorry to hear that. I'll be sure to bring him some great liquor next time. I left in a hurry, and I couldn't make it back in time for the event.
Oh.
Gotta admit, I can understand their disappointment, though. You're our brigade's main selling point, after all. Now, if only the deputy could figure out a way to bring a few more smoking hot members into our ranks.
Keep dreaming. Remember the last time I invited a couple gals into the brigade? You all just froze up with your mouths gaping like a bunch of scarecrows. The awkward silence and weird expressions left quite the impression on them. They were originally interested in joining us, but after that, they both told me they were too uncomfortable to stick around.
Hey, didn't we agree to never bring that up again?
Huh? Wait, are you serious? Why have I never heard about this?
I don't think you were part of the brigade yet.
Are you kidding me? I missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment like that, and you weren't even gonna tell me?
All right. We can tell you about it later. Now's not the time.
Hey, don't you try to change the subject. You and Hisham get your butts over here and tell me everything right now.
Are they always like this?
More or less. There aren't many rules or graces when it comes to mercenaries. We're used to just speaking our minds. If someone starts getting under your skin, you just yell right back at them. And if that doesn't put an end to it, then you just challenge them to a fight.
Okay, ich bin
But
raus.
we also don't tend to take many things too seriously. Being
Ja, man
direct
kann
and
sich auch
getting
ganz
it all
ironisch
out
auf
of
die
your
Fresse
system as
schlagen.
soon as
Was
things come
rennen
up
die denn da
is
hinten rum?
better than keeping everything bottled up, never talking about it. That's also why I never spare their feelings when I talk to them. If I want to laugh, I'll laugh.
Also
If
ich habe
I'm angry,
Konfliktbewältigung
then I'll
anders
unload on
gelernt,
'em.
aber wenn ihr
It's hard to
meint...
stop once you get used to it. Though, hey knuckleheads, can you at least tell me the rest of the intel before you go back to your bickering?
Yeah, you hear her, Holloff? Told you we gotta focus on the investigation first. I drew up a map. Right here's the spot. There, all you gotta do is wait and ambush them in the evening. They'll have no idea what hit them.
Perfect. Thanks for that. Be sure to pass my regards to everyone else in the brigade as well.
Will do. You stay safe, Dehya.
Bewache die Handelsstraße. Die ist wo? Weiter weg. Das ist ja ganz woanders. Gut. Von mir aus. Kriegen wir hin.
This should be the place. Let's find a spot to hide and bide our time. It's gonna come down to a fight one way or another, so let's all be careful.
No need to worry. She knows her way around a fight.
Ja, ab und zu muss ich mal.
I'm not worried about that. What I meant is that we probably shouldn't go too hard on the enemy. After all, we still need to get information out of them.
Ich überlege immer noch, ob ich auf Nahida pulle heute. Aber es gibt noch die neuen Charaktere.
Here they come. You ready?
Was, wie?
Let's not give them a chance to react and end this quickly.
Auf die Schnüss. Wie immer halt.
Vengeance will be mine. I condemn you.
Mist. Den hätte ich doch wenigstens neu erwischen können hier. Ich muss echt nochmal meine Talismane für Jula ein bisschen überarbeiten. Aber ich bin zu faul. Keine Lust auf Brian.
You're the Flame Bane.
Good. That saves me an introduction. All right, time for a little talk. Are you buddies with Dakana Lakmar now? Tell me, what are they after?
You know the code of being a mercenary just like everyone else. The first rule is to never divulge key information about our employer. What makes you think I'd talk?
Ein Messer an der Kehle?
That might have worked on an amateur, but I know you're just looking to protect your reputation. Think about it, though. What's your reputation worth if you won't have the other tools you need to succeed in this line of work? Tools like, I don't know, you've got 5 seconds. You might want to think twice about how much your employer's information is worth to you.
Whoa!
Keine Panik, Paimon. Sie weiß, was sie
I'm
tut.
not joking around. We can do this the easy way or the painful way. 2 seconds.
I'll save you the trouble.
Was jetzt? Nicht pupsen. Ah.
Huh? Are you crazy?
Okay.
He tried to bite off his own tongue. Quick, search the area for any first aid supplies. I definitely didn't expect him to go that far. Thankfully, the wound wasn't too deep, and he just passed out from the pain.
Er ist ohnmächtig geworden, weil er sich auf die Zunge gebissen hat. Natürlich.
Why would he be so extreme?
I just wanted to test his mettle. You can get a lot of mercenaries to talk just by threatening them. I didn't expect him to be willing to go through so much pain just to deny us some intel.
Well, he's out cold for now. We could wait for him to wake up, but maybe it's not a good idea to interrogate him any further.
Yeah, don't worry about it. It'll be a waste of time to interrogate him again after that. There are lots of goods around here. Let's search the area. Maybe we'll be able to find something. I'm really sorry.
Eine Menge Essen und Wasser in der Kiste. Alltägliche Sachen, nichts Wichtiges. Ein paar Waffen, Medizin und Bandagen in der Kiste. Sie scheinen es eilig gehabt zu haben.
We found a piece of paper with a bunch of names on it. Maybe it's a record of something.
Let me take a look. If this really is a merchant caravan, they should have a record of their transactions. Yep. I see an entry for Dakana Lakmar right here. Kusela, Idrisi, Bashar, and Takriti. All familiar names. Dakana Lakmar has been trading for a hefty supply of food, weapons, and medicine. It seems that in the past, they used to receive some canned knowledge as well.
Alles klar, Tron. Dir eine gute Nacht, schlaf schön, erhol dich gut und vielleicht sehen wir uns ja am Donnerstag wieder. Gute Nacht dir.
This caravan is just one link in their logistics chain. Once in the rainforest, the caravan will exchange the looted goods for Mora, and the funds will then be passed to a specific person. That person will then pack the caravan full of necessary goods, which will then be brought right back to Dakana Lakmar. Wait, why is there no Mora value recorded for the final transaction?
No value?
Yeah. Every transaction before the last one was marked with an exact amount of Mora, but the final one, where they paid for everything to be brought back to the desert, was simply marked as delivered.
Vielleicht ist es nur der Zahlungsausgleich für die gelieferte Beute.
Perhaps. But they couldn't have known how much they would make off selling the loot. Do they not care about profit margins at all? Anyway, the next part's the records of the goods themselves. There are a lot of entries. Everything was probably sourced from the rainforest. Huh?
What's wrong?
Shazamon Homayani?
Homayani? You mean Dunyarzads family? Could it just be another family with the same last name?
I'd be surprised to find someone with the exact same first and last name. Shazamon Homayani is Dunyarzad's father, and the head of the Homayani family. Just what the heck is going on here?
Beruhige dich, Dehya.
I'm sorry. You're right. I'll consider what we found and not jump to conclusions just yet. But what this piece of paper confirms is that the Homayani family has been providing goods to Dakana Lakmar.
What if the Homayanis have been kept in the dark and don't know they've been trading with Dakana?
That's a possibility. But if that was the case, why is this caravan specifically named Shazamon as their person of contact? They could have just as easily bought goods such as food and medicine directly from Caravan Rebot or Port Ormos.
Wenn sie Bescheid wissen, dann ist es eine Art Finanzierung.
Yeah, funding violence and looting. The brigade gets the goods, and he is paid the proceeds from the sale of the loot.
But why would he do something like this? It's not like the Homianis are in need of money.
I honestly have no idea. I've been to their estate many times, and I've never noticed anything suspicious. The only potentially large expenditure I could think of would be the treatment costs for Dunyarzads Elazar. Maybe they borrowed a lot of Mora in the past? But that's still just a speculation. I don't think the master would stoop so low to make Mora.
Ich glaube auch nicht, dass Dunyazad Bescheid weiß.
You're probably right. I know my lady's personality, and she wouldn't deliberately keep something like this from us.
But what should we do now? All we found is just another mystery.
Wenn wir das vollständig aufklären wollen, gibt es kein Zurück.
If you ask me, we already have no choice but to confront her about this. I'm not worried. It's too early to make a verdict yet. I still have faith in the Homianis. Let's go find my lady again. We'll tell her everything and see if she's willing to lend us her support. If we're lucky, we can not only figure out the mystery of this paper, but also follow the trail of breadcrumbs to the people responsible at Dakan al-Akmar.
Dehya, are you sure this is the best decision? What if instead of getting the help we need, we just end up revealing everything we've discovered to the enemy?
Könnte passieren, ja.
I've considered that possibility. But even still, I want to tell her what we found. I think I owe her that much. True friendship is built on trust. She showed genuine concern for me when we first brought up the topic. I can't repay her kindness with doubt and suspicion. That's not how I deal with people.
You're right. Paimon wants to trust Dunyarzaad too.
Hoffentlich können wir ihr helfen.
Yeah. Let's pay another visit to Sumeru City.
Von der Tiefe abgefangene. Ach, das ist die Liste mit den Namen. Okay. Bilanzunterlagen. Okay. Meine Liebe, was hast du uns zu sagen?
We're back, my lady.
Oh, you're back a lot sooner than I expected. You mustn't have run into any trouble then. Well, how did it go? What did you come up with?
Actually, we are still investigating. It's just that we've discovered something strange.
I see. The clues you found have led you back here, in the city?
Something like that.
Ja.
Yeah.
You all look a little dispirited. Whatever you found must not have been very encouraging after all. Why don't you discuss it with me? Maybe I'll be able to say something to cheer you up?
Naja.
It's okay, my lady. It's not so much about me being upset with my father or anything like that. How should I put this?
So something is wrong. Even the Traveler and Paimon have been uncharacteristically quiet. On any other day, Paimon would have already waved to me with a smile and shouted, "Dunyarzaad, we're back!" So tell me, what happened?
Well?
My lady, please prepare yourself for what we're going to tell you next. It concerns the Master.
The Master? You mean... Okay, I understand. Don't worry about me. I'll listen as attentively as I can. My father has been supplying goods to Dakan al-Akmar?
Yeah, it makes as little sense to us as it does to you. I've never doubted the Master's integrity, so I'm having a real hard time rationalizing how he could ever support an infamous brigade like them. Maybe he's not actually aware of the full story and just stumbled into the deal by accident.
Aber das ist unwahrscheinlich.
I can't help but agree with the Traveler.
Huh? You mean you feel the same way, Dunyarzaad?
Thank you for sharing all this information with me. Since you've told me everything you know, I should also tell you about some doubts that I've been harboring for quite a while. In the past, I thought that my father hired a bodyguard for me so that I wouldn't run away and get lost. However, there are plenty of capable mercenaries in the Corps of 30. Why did my father go out of his way to hire Dehya?
Ja, Frau.
About that. Well, the Homayanis really needed bodyguards, so they reached out to the Blazing Beasts. Later, the master told me that I was one of the best mercenaries he'd ever seen, and that I should stick around to become one of his bodyguards. He offered me a pile of mora, so I just signed on.
Well, but that didn't really answer my question. Just think about it. Why did my father specifically reach out to the Blazing Beasts?
Oh, vielleicht hat er eine Ausschreibung gemacht.
Maybe the Corps of 30 just didn't have anyone available, or maybe someone recommended us. I've never given it too much thought. I think I get what you're saying. You'd think none of this was a coincidence.
Precisely. At first glance, nothing seems strange or out of place. But there are many parts of the story that don't actually make any sense. If my father had always been in contact with the Khan al-Akmar, then it would make sense for him to bring Dehya into our house.
You mean the goal all along was to get Dehya to be your bodyguard?
No, that's too much of a stretch. I cut all ties with my father a long time ago. He has no control over my life anymore.
Naja.
But that still doesn't rule out the possibility that your father has still been trying to influence your life without you knowing.
Genau.
So, the master was not likely an innocent victim in all of this?
So scheint es wohl.
Sorry we put all this on you so suddenly, Dunyarzads.
It's okay, Paimon. I should actually be thanking you. Regardless of his reasons, if my father has truly been funding a violent group of mercenaries, then it's my duty to bring him back to reason.
But is that really the right thing to do? My father has committed many atrocities and deserves all the punishment that he has coming to him. I have zero sympathy for him. You may call me an ungrateful child, but my feelings will remain the same. However, the Homayani family has treated me with nothing but generosity and kindness. If we decide to investigate this further, we could end up implicating the entire Homayani family. I would be biting the hand that's fed me over all these years.
Dehya.
It's all right, Dehya. If anyone were to ask, you could always just say that I'm the one who instructed you to get to the bottom of this.
You don't have to do that, my lady. I'm not conflicted because I'm afraid of taking responsibility. Besides, you're the one we should all be worried about right now.
Hey, it's still too early to give up hope. What was that thing about friendship again?
Wahre Freundschaft baut auf Vertrauen auf.
Right, yeah, trust. You said that yourself, Dehya. Besides, there's no point on getting all riled up before we've confirmed all the facts.
Wenn ein Vertrauen nicht missbraucht wurde, dann muss er auch sehr durcheinander sein.
Thank you, everyone. That makes a lot of sense. I guess I should always remember the trust that I've placed in people. In which case, my lady, could you ask the master to come out and have a chat with us?
Sure thing. I also hope he'll be able to give us a logical explanation. Let's meet at the usual place then.
Usual place?
Geht zum Treffpunkt. Naja, Hauptsache die wissen Bescheid. Was gemeint ist, aber... Ach so, unten bei der Bühne? Nee. Sarah. Ups. Einsammeln. So. Zack. Ups. Na, komm schon. Hopp. Ach so, da. Ja, gut, hier vorne. Ja, gut.
Thank you for coming, sir. Please allow me to introduce these two. This is the Traveler, and next to her is her travel companion, Paimon.
Ah, yes. My daughter has mentioned them from time to time. It's a privilege to finally meet them in person. But we may skip all the pleasantries for now. What is the important matter you wish?
Well, we wanted to bring this transaction record to your attention. There's something on this record that we're all pretty curious about.
So, that's what you found. Huh. Seems like I can't keep everything from you much longer.
If you wouldn't mind, we'd like an explanation.
Well, it's a long and difficult story. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. What I do know, though, Dehya, is that the truth will bring you no solace. If anything, it will likely cause you a great amount of anguish.
Wait, me?
Yes, I understand perfectly why you came to see me. And I am touched by your collective commitment to do the right thing.
Die beiden sind Schwestern.
But knowledge always comes at a price.
Naja.
And sometimes, as they say, ignorance is bliss. Your father, Kusela, and I both believed that. Of course, you have the right to seek and learn the truth, but I must warn you, the facts of this matter may reduce everything you've built for yourself into sand, blowing in the wind. If you must proceed, then Kusela's heartfelt efforts will also fade into the wind like a fleeting mirage.
His heartfelt efforts? I'm sorry, sir, but I'm not sure I follow. I've made it this far in life without a single drop of my father's support.
Ja, ich wäre vorsichtig.
I have my own ideals and ways of looking at the world, as well as people and causes that I've chosen to cherish and fight for. None of these things have anything to do with him. I came here today to support you as the head of the Homayani family. No warning will change my stance on that.
I understand. Then let me tell you a little story. Our family once needed to take a trip to the desert when Dunyarzads was just a baby. Along the way, we were attacked by bandits. They had superior numbers and quickly overpowered our bodyguards. When all seemed lost, a group of passerby Eremites lent us their support. Those Eremites were Kusela's brigade, Dekan al-Ahmar. Kusela's men told me that the attackers were Eremite mercenaries, just like themselves. I was shocked. Why would Dekan al-Ahmar go so far to save us and not spare the fellow Eremites? Kusela was grinning and walked over to play with baby Dunyazad. She was startled by his unfamiliar face and nearly started crying.
Oh Gott.
Really? I never knew.
He said that he had no particular reason to help us. He just took pity on us because he had a daughter about the same age. We started talking about our children, and I sensed that he was a devoted father. To repay his kindness, I hired his brigade to help out at our estate for a time, and...
So, that's what happened.
It was many years before I saw him again. I almost didn't recognize him the next time he came knocking on my door. The man I knew to be strong and healthy had been reduced to a shell of himself. He couldn't even walk anymore without his cane.
So, what happened to him? He was perfectly fine when I left the brigade.
Ja, Menschen werden krank halt, ne?
I'm not too sure myself. The only thing that didn't change was his cheery disposition. He said there was absolutely nothing to worry about and that he had gotten into a fight. That was all. He then suddenly asked me if Dunyarzads, now that she had grown, would need a bodyguard of her own. At the time, Dunyarzads was going through a particularly severe bout of her Elazar. There was no need for her to have a bodyguard when she could barely leave the house, but he kept coming back to the topic. Come on, it never hurts to be safe. How do you know a bodyguard won't come in handy one day? I was completely lost at first, until he recommended the Blazing Beasts, and in particular, a mercenary named Dehya.
So he was the one who recommended
Ja gut, das war irgendwie zu erwarten, wenn sie nicht gerade Schwestern gewesen wären.
Indeed. He didn't say it out loud, but it was clear that he saw Deshret's relics as an evil group who would eventually corrupt every member in their ranks. He was already beyond redemption, but he hoped that he would be able to detach his daughter from the vicious world of mercenary life. If Dehya could stay in my house and keep working as a bodyguard, then gradually her affinity for the desert would decrease.
And that's why you offered her such generous compensation?
Yes, but not just because of that. From the moment that he asked me for that favor, I also began to see Dehya as my own daughter. And that's also why I tried to persuade you to stay when you asked for permission to leave. I was willing to spend however much it took. Kusela saved my daughter and I all those years ago in the desert. I could never refuse him entrusting his daughter to me.
He was always like that, acting like he's oh so smart and self-righteous.
Kusela said that he'd reimburse me for a portion of Dehya's fees. I refused to take any mora from him, but he'd always sent me funds anyway. Eventually, I just accepted them as a token of his gratitude. And that went on for a while until I received another letter from him. The letter contained a request to help him buy food, weapons, medicine, and even explosive materials.
Aha, und das hast du einfach gemacht, oder wie?
Isn't that around the time that the Khan al-Ahmar started becoming more aggressive?
That's right. When I started to hear some nasty rumors, I became wary. I wanted to meet him face to face to discuss things, but by then, he was no longer receptive to my requests to talk. If I had to guess, it's probably because he doesn't want to put Dehya at risk.
Dann hätte ich auch nicht um die Waren bitten dürfen.
That thought occurred to me as well. I figured that he probably came to me for help because he had nobody else to turn to. After some deliberation, I decided to send him some food and medicine. I turned down all his requests for explosives and weaponry.
Na, immerhin.
I am aware that even such a reduced gesture of support could lead to others coming to harm, but I could not simply reject his plea for help. In the end, it probably was the wrong decision. I plugged my ears to the rumors and just chose a solution that made me feel least guilty.
If you can, please tell me where he is now. None of the things he's doing right now make any sense if he's just trying to keep me from getting tangled up in his world. If all he wants to do is steer clear of me, then maybe he shouldn't have brought me into this world in the first place.
Oh no. Dehya, please don't feel that way.
I'm just angry because I can't wrap my head around any of his actions.
Vielleicht gibt es eine andere Erklärung. Vielleicht kannst du ihm noch einmal vertrauen. Schwierig.
Another way? I don't know. I knew him, and he was nothing more than a childish brute. I can't understand what's going through his head. But I guess you do have a point. We haven't uncovered the whole truth yet. We still need to figure out his exact actions and reasoning for these last few years.
I'll do my best to help. Of course, anything between the two of you would need to be resolved between you and him. I don't know Kusela's exact whereabouts. Outside of supplying his brigade with some goods, I tried my best to avoid getting involved any further with him. However, there's a man on the list named Jawed. He used to be a mercenary in the desert and is now a member of the Corps of 30. He's responsible for supplying weapons and liaising with the Dekhan al-Ahmar's merchant caravan. I think he should know Kusela's whereabouts. I've heard that he likes to have a few drinks alone and enjoy the cool wind at night outside the tavern. Maybe you'll be able to find him there.
Aha.
Understood. Thank you, sir. Then I guess this is bye for now.
I'll stay and be with my father here. To be honest, I'm still a little dazed and haven't finished processing everything quite yet.
Ui.
My father has indeed done something wrong, but if I think about it, I'm also not sure if there was a right way to handle this problem. I feel like our only course of action is to turn everything we know over to the Corps of 30.
Yes. I am prepared to accept whatever verdict they choose. It's time to face my mistakes.
Oje, oje. Nicht doch. Ist schon Abend? Was zählt hier als Abend? 18 Uhr? 18 Uhr ist Abend.
Aristocratic etiquette is all just for show. Just smile and nod along. I was forced to learn all of the rules by heart, but even I don't take them that seriously.
Bist du Jawad? Bist du Jawad? Jawad verkauft Pancakes. Oder Pizza. Ich weiß es nicht. Suche am Abend außerhalb der Taverne nach Jawad. Es ist anscheinend immer noch nicht Abend genug. Dann machen wir es. Ja, so. Du bist Erfahren, da ist Jawad.
Huh? Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps.
Shh. Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out.
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I waited in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Khan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city.
Ja. Dehya ist zumindest Meisterin der Drohungen. Das ist ja schon wieder so weit weg. Wohin? Okay.
Time to scout.
Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela. Tell him to get out here.
Bang. Boom.
Dehya, why are you here?
Aua! Aua!
Let's get it on!
Think you can bully me?
Gehen wir mal rüber.
Everybody stand back!
Look at you, Foontail.
Beg for mercy. More speed.
Na komm, bleibst du wohl stehen. Hey!
Shudder.
I'll be back.
Haven't you all done enough?
Oh, so you also here to stop us?
Stay out of this.
Hey!
Nothing to
Halt
do
dich raus! Hältst du dich raus?
Good grief.
Aua!
More speed. Crush. Frost. Shudder. Crush.
Oh, she's so strong.
Ja.
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dehya, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
Aha.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least...
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Das ist also der Grund für den internen Kampf.
Let me start from the beginning. Dehya, do you know how the head of the relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters, whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit. The record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail.
Heißt das
That's
etwa...
precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dehya and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dehya, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since Dakan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me. But that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Okay.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of Dakan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end.
Aber zu den Opfern gehört nicht nur Deshrets Vermächtnis.
There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies. From food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
Gewalt mit Gewalt zu bekämpfen macht alles nur noch schlimmer. Ist euch klar, dass ihr Verbrechen begeht?
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low, but maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause.
Dann macht mal.
Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dehya. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dehya? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Ich bin auf deiner Seite.
Yeah. Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see it
Ja.
again.
Feuerwerk! Knall,
Thank
peng,
you.
bumm.
We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Okay. Geht zum Versteck. Gibt's noch Loot? Ansonsten ist es weit. Okay, wohin? Hab ich ja gar nichts zum Teleportieren. Dann halt hier, ne?
Visibility is excellent. If we head to higher ground, we can do a full recon of enemy activity in the area.
Naja, mal gucken. Da war noch so ein Schrein. Ich glaube, ich habe einen Schlüssel. Lass uns einfach mal zu dem Schrein noch rüber. Wenn ich den hier schon sehe. Oh Gott. Das ist neblig. Oder Sandsturm? Oder keine Ahnung. So. Ja, noch ein Schlüssel. Gleich mal öffnen.
I can put these to good use.
Jawohl, ja. Sehr schön. So, wo müssen wir hin? wir da hoch wieder? Wie kommen wir jetzt da hoch? Laufen. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob wir hoch müssen oder... Na, egal. Wir versuchen es. Vielleicht laufe ich jetzt unnötig hier hoch, aber das ist jetzt so am Rand, da kann man nicht genau sagen. Nee, wir müssen runter anscheinend. Hätte mich jetzt auch gewundert, wenn die ihr Versteck hier ganz oben haben. Aber gut. Das macht ja alles nichts. So. Aha. Naja, glatt gegangen.
Should be. I don't think they have enough manpower left to post guards and defend their perimeters.
Ich weiß nicht, ob das reicht, aber nehmen wir die mal. Normal nehme ich ja noch einen Zhongli mit rein, aber mal gucken.
Wow. Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Ich habe so etwas schon oft erlebt.
Yeah. We'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before.
Okay, wir rennen denen jetzt einfach hinterher. Mal gucken, ob die hier Truhen haben. Oder Sachen zum Zerdeppern. Oh, hallo. Ihr kommt allein klar, oder? Ich bleib hier hinten und... Ja, okay. Sind wir mal nicht so.
Beg for mercy. Eye for an eye.
How regretful.
Wer noch?
Think you can bully me?
Hey!
Crush.
I'll be back. A new punching.
Noch welche! Hey!
To ashes.
Can't have your dream.
Need more.
Was war denn jetzt?
I'll take my
Und noch mehr!
take that.
Shut up. Freeze to the core. I condemn you.
Hey, I'll take my leave.
So, noch welche? Ja, verdammt.
Shake it
Oh, the
and stir.
jungle.
Going in. Beg for mercy.
You want this one? Where do you think you're?
Crush. More
You
speed.
want this one?
Beg for mercy.
Look at you, Boozle.
I'll be back.
Crush.
I'm good.
Wie viele von denen muss ich noch bekämpfen hier?
Think you can bully me?
Jetzt. Okay. Geh weiter.
This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Ich hab doch schon die halbe Bande ausgerottet hier.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Tja. Schlau sind sie nicht. So viel dazu.
Hey, you guys okay?
Ich glaube, durch die Mauer hören die dich nicht mehr.
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Ach so.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this,
See, don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. Let's go! We can't let the boss down.
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go!
Dann mal los. Okay. Drehen. Erheben, Farbe ändern. Also einmal erhöhen und jetzt noch die Farbe ändern. Ja. Das kriegen wir hin.
Beg for mercy. Blood of frost. Rack and ruin.
Immerhin noch ein paar Truhen hier. Sehr gut. Wollen ja noch irgendwann die Trophäen
Another
zusammenkriegen.
mechanism like the one before, but this one's being blocked off in the middle.
We just need to adjust it a little.
Ah. Voll schlau. Und jetzt? Jetzt müssen wir hier ein bisschen runter. Aha. Was sollen wir hier mitmachen? Wir können es nur senken.
More speed.
Da ist aber nichts. Naja gut, wir kommen auf jeden Fall weiter. Vielleicht kommt da ja noch was. Diesbezüglich. Oder ist unwichtig. Kann auch sein.
Can't handle your dream.
Crush. Huh? Beg for mercy.
Think you can bully me?
Hey! Ja, was soll ich denn treffen damit?
Crush.
Okay. Nächste Truhe. Zack. Zählt das zu den Wüstentruhen? Ich würde mal annehmen, ne? Ach,
Look at you, Foozhound. Think you can bully me?
Shudder. Vengeance will be mine. Eye for an eye.
so, zweimal schon mal umgehauen. Sehr gut.
Shaken and stirred.
Eyes on me. Crush.
Schön viele Truhen. Sehr gut. So kriegt man seinen Counter auch hoch. einfach warten, bis die ganzen Legendenaufträge aus sind. So. Okay, haben wir schon wieder sowas. Okay. Das mal den hier anscheinend. So. Sonst passiert hier nichts. Okay. Ah, den kann ich jetzt ein bisschen senken und die Farbe ändern. Ja, ist das nicht zu weit? Nee, passt. So. Achso, jetzt muss ich hier aber drehen. So. Also andersrum. Das muss höher. Okay. So, der muss doch wieder höher. Okay, und jetzt nochmal die Farbe ändern. Zack. Easy. Oh, was kommt jetzt?
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side.
Ja, da guckst du,
But
wa?
as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run. Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin.
Pudi-pudi-pu.
Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory.
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory. Wave one, charge! Eliminate them!
Okay, So, wer will nochmal? Wer hat noch nicht?
Shudder! Freeze to the core! Rack and ruin!
Take my leave.
How heartless.
Weggeflatzt. Naja, fast.
You don't think that you've won. We're just getting started.
I condemn you!
Shake an ass!
Everybody stand back! Vengeance will be mine! Shudder!
King Deshret will not abandon any one of his followers.
Geil.
To ashes!
Look at you, Boozle!
Brothers! This is where we prove our faith.
You all just want to die?
None of us plan to leave this place alive!
Raise a storm! Where do you think you're going?
Take my
Teamwork is dreamwork! Get out of here!
Take that!
Can't have your drink.
Blood of frost! Eye for an eye!
Goodbye. But we'll meet again.
The golden slumber.
Haben wir jetzt alle hier.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat!
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Oh, Verstärkung, oder?
Get out of my way!
Ich war nicht so ganz sicher.
Come and face me, Michel! Ugh, so they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michel. They fight like absolute madmen. No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more.
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand, alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Okay, einfach alles zerstören. Drück den roten Knopf.
Wait!
Drama. Wie jetzt? Einfach
We
umgekippt?
were too late.
Hat er sich auch auf die Zunge gebissen oder was?
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dehya! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Die große Truhe darf ich aber mitnehmen noch, oder?
Let's go.
Mal umschauen. Muss noch irgendwas versteckt haben, aber nee. Jemini. Meine Truhe. Nice. Wie viel Dendro-Siegel habe ich denn jetzt? Kann ich die schon wieder abgeben? Oh ja.
Who are you filthy rats? And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Geschwärzte relics, and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead.
Ach, nichts Besonderes.
Have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to...
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room?
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room.
Good move.
He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Geschwärzte relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
Ui, ui. Lass uns mal gucken. Oder gibt es hier noch Truhen? Nee.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire?
Humpel, humpel, humpel. Fire!
If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Naja.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dehya's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh?
Dem Einfall ist so gelassen, wie es war.
Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dehya has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dehya, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
But Dehya, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad.
Gott, oh Gott, so schnell kann ich doch gar nicht lesen.
What's this?
Ich habe etwas Leckeres bestellt. Paimon lädt dich ein.
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money.
Essen.
Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy.
Obwohl das Geld nicht aus ihrer Tasche kam.
Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. Dunyarzads will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me.
Es kam alles zu plötzlich.
Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites. All of us.
Man sollte jedoch wahre Gefühle niemals in Frage stellen.
Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is.
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dehya, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
But Dehya, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
Ein wenig Trubel kann nicht schaden.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Ach, jetzt gehen wir noch spazieren hier. Ich dachte, das wäre jetzt mal langsam gut. Es hört nicht auf. Mal wieder. Es hört einfach nicht auf.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who
Ach so, deswegen hat er so komisch gesprochen. Ich dachte gerade schon.
Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence.
Er hat sich wirklich auf die Zunge gebissen. Oh,
But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves into the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dehya's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped it. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Ein etwas seltsamer Mensch.
Huh? There's something in the bottle.
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter.
Was?
To Dehya. It's a letter for me?
Ah, okay. Lies ihn dir in Ruhe durch.
It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Das wird zumindest erklären, warum er nicht weiß, wer die Mutter ist.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking.
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day and discovered a baby in the sands. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
Okay.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice.
Okay, das erklärt zumindest, warum er die Mutter nicht kennt.
I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dehya, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child.
Zum Glück hat er dich als Kind behandelt. Naja.
I suppose. Or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
Ich möchte nicht, dass du aufhörst, vorwärts zu gehen.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Na denn, wissen wir das jetzt auch. So, jetzt haben wir aber richtig viel Urgestein heute noch gemacht, ne? Ja. 1600 hatten wir um den Dreh. Sind nochmal 540 drauf. Aber ich ziehe jetzt nicht mehr. Nee. Wann ist das nächste Banner? Übernächste Woche, glaube ich, oder? Nee, nächste Woche. Nächste Woche ist das neue Banner da. Dann können wir ziehen. Nee, ich glaube, auf Nahida ziehe ich jetzt wirklich nicht mehr. Das lassen wir so, wie es ist. Ich mache jetzt auch keine, keine Kopfgeldjagden mehr. Ich würde sagen, es reicht für heute. Genau. Nee, nächster Stream. Donnerstag, 20:30 Uhr. Wir spielen wieder. Entschuldigung, nicht viel geschlafen letzte Nacht. Wir spielen wieder Hollow Knight. Am Donnerstag, 20:30 Uhr. Bis dahin bin ich hoffentlich dann ausgeschlafen. Und dann gehen wir die nächsten Bosse an. Wir waren ja in dieser einmal Unterwasser- und einmal Pilzwelt. Aber ich habe eine Idee, wie wir weiterkommen. Ich hatte ja da irgendwie was mit einem Hebel versperrt, wo ich nicht weiterkam. Ich habe eine Idee, kurz nachdem ich den Stream beendet hatte, kam die mir, aber das gucken wir dann beim nächsten Mal. Ansonsten, wie immer, guckt ihr hier in den Zeitplan oder in meinen Discord-Channel nach den nächsten Streams. Oder, wenn euch langweilig ist, könnt ihr auch auf YouTube vorbeischauen. Ist ebenfalls in der Info verlinkt. So, ich wünsche euch noch einen schönen Abend. Schlaft gut, wacht erholt auf. Habt einen ganz, ganz tollen Tag morgen. Und wir sehen uns dann, wenn ihr mögt, am Donnerstag wieder. Bis dann, meine Lieben. Ciao, ciao.